Hey, Randy McKee here with Soccer 605. I'm here with Morningside assistant coach B.J. Wylie, former South Dakota standout on many capacities. Thanks for being with us tonight, B.J.
Hey, it's good to have me. Thanks.
So, been kind of watching and seeing how you're, kind of changing from being a player to a coach. What are some of the biggest adjustments you're having to make there?
The hardest part is not being able to get out there and do it. I'm more of a. It's tough to explain the things that you want these guys to do. I'm more of a shower kind of thing. So the toughest part is trying to stay out of their drills as they're going on and kind of, as they let them kind of make the mistakes and not be able to go out there and help them correct it. You have to do it from the sidelines and vocally try to express how to, make them change it on the field without being able to do it for them. So that's tough, and I think it gets easier as the years go by. I'm still young yet, so I still feel like I can get out there, but it's definitely going down the other direction sometimes.
Well, I know it's got to be tough, especially as somebody who is a top player, seeing guys who maybe can't perform up to the level that you were performing at, but still trying to do the best they can do.
Yeah, it's they got some learning to do, and I definitely learned a lot since I became a coach. You definitely see it from a different point of view. You actually start playing a different type of soccer. Then it's not all do whatever. I feel like you become a smarter player. You definitely get a better understanding of the game.
Well, you've had a tremendous progression as a player and a coach. I remember way back, seems like an eon ago, when I got you as an '84 boys ODP player, and I remember you going from there, watching you in club, then high school, then college, then pro, and then back to college again. So, I mean, you've been there and done that. You must have good street cred with your players.
Yeah, I think they definitely look up to me a little bit in a respectful kind of way, but at the same time, they all think that they know best and everything, and that's the tough part, is trying to get them to understand where I'm coming from as a player. I was the same way. I had attitude and all that stuff, and I felt like I knew the game the best, and whatever I did was right. But definitely when you become a coach, you kind of look at it, like I said, from different angles, and you learn that, okay, now I get what Tom's talking about, or my coaches in the past are talking about. I see those things, from the sideline. You're like, man, if I could only go back those 10 years ago or whatever it was, to high school and college and even pro, and just I'd be a totally different player than I would be when I was then.
Well, the bottom line is, it seems to me like no matter what level you achieve, there's always plenty more to learn.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, I'm still learning. I obviously today with the loss and everything, it was kind of tough, but we'll take what we can get from it, and I guess, like you said, there's always going to be a learning point from everywhere you go. Practice, just juggling around, or anything you do, you can always learn something. So.
Well, the trip home is always longest when you don't win. So, but I imagine these guys all have a little homework and a little snoozing to do, and you're probably going to be working on the next game plan. Who do you have next then?
I believe we have Nebraska Wesleyan at Nebraska Wesleyan in Lincoln. So another long little road trip. I think it's like 3 hours or something. So we'll prepare for that all week and hopefully get a win.
Nebraska Wesleyan has kind of been having a mixed season, but they got Dakota Wesleyan last week down there.
Yeah, I did read that. I think they beat them in overtime, maybe 2-1 or something like that. So I think at home Nebraska Wesleyan's a very good team, and they got a lot of players to choose from over there in Lincoln and around that area. So we've always played them really tough. It's not necessarily a huge rivalry, but there's some love-hate there. So it'll be a good game.
Well, one of the things that we always see, BJ, is you young coaches get get assistants under a senior coach like that, and all of a sudden an opportunity comes up, and maybe you're going down the road. Are you looking around at that at all, or are you going to be staying at Morningside for a while?
The idea of it is in my head, and this is definitely a career that I'd like to pursue and everything. I'd like to stay with Tom. He's a very smart coach, and he's a very mentoring coach too. He's had a lot of his players go through him and say, I think I might be the longest one with him, but I'm learning a lot from him, and there's a lot of it that I don't, especially at the college level with recruiting and the way all that goes behind closed doors that people don't know about, that I don't really understand yet. So for me to go take on a college team or something like that might be a little rough. I am helping out in the Sioux City area with a local high school team, a girls team. So, just little steps like that to get my foot in the door and get good experience with Tom and stuff. I mean, he's an A licensed coach and a very knowledgeable guy and has great connections. So if something does come up down the road, I definitely would be pursuing that, but I might wait a few years yet.
Well, I think that'd probably be a great idea, because if you're going to be learning how to run a program, I can't imagine anybody better than Coach Maxson to do that.
Yeah, he's an amazing guy. I've learned so much from this guy. You know, I've known him about 10 years now, and you know, I owe him a lot, and he's taught me a lot about the game on and off the field. So I definitely hold him at a high pedestal there.
Well, folks, here he is, B.J. Wylie, another former South Dakota player who's gone out in the greater soccer world and done a lot of impressive things and continues to do that. B.J., thanks again for spending some time with us on Soccer 605.
Thanks for having me. I appreciate it.